So, we know about Adam Shaw's group and their bid. We get a bit more detail about it in The Athletic. Hello and welcome to this video. If you could like, share, and subscribe to the channel, much appreciate it. Liking out the algorithm, sharing gets in front of people's faces, and subscribing lets me know you like the channel. Hit that notification bell to let you know when video go live. Now, one thing we got at a minute is that we know that we're in a world of trouble with everything to do with the FL. Could be something to do with the HMRC as well, but I haven't been able to see if that's due yet. Apparently, there's a lot of speculation, rumors saying it is. But one of the things here is that Adam Shaw has done an interview with The Athletic, and he's spoken about how Sheffield Wednesday should have a 55 capacity stadium and one of the best academies in England and way bigger than Wrexham, according to the co-leader of the North American group. Now, it's kind of funny that Adam's now come out and started doing a lot of the media side things. So it's that whole situation where you look at what's being said now, and certain things are coming out about what he said the bids were and how much they were. And the thing is, they've been apparently talked with two US-based groups, according to The Athletic. I always forget The Athletic then by the New York Times, by the way, as well. But one of them is the Florida-based one, which John Flanagan gave an interview to BBC Radio Sheffield. And we know that Adam is a Sheffield-born businessman who's stateside, and he gave this to exclusively to The Athletic. He'd gone on to Sheffield went down nowhere in America. We sell 0 shirts and have no commercial presence. That got to change. With the World Cup in the US next year, and with the individuals we have in our ownership group, we could easily become Florida's English football team. We should be way bigger than Wrexham. Ryan Reynolds would have given less leg to have what we have at Wednesday in terms of our history and fan base. Let's use that. And this is the thing, you look at this thing, he started doing interview tours a little bit. He started to talk about it. He spoke about how the group that are involved are 16 strong Major League Baseball players, an ex-Premier League star, and he said that the deal can be done quite quickly. And the thing is, here's the other thing you've got. When you look at what Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney done at Wrexham, they only paid $2 million for the club. They sold so much stuff. Now, the thing is, what you've got now is that their value is about 100 million, and are now according to us, they're looking for a new valuation. They're looking for a bigger valuation, and it's this whole thing. Everyone keeps having it that they are doing the comparing Wrexham and Wednesday to the sides and how they've done it and how things can be done. And I understand why people do that, because they've managed to utilize their presence in business and stuff. So one of the things they spoke about buying the club. Now, the first offer they did was 65 million, which is only 48 million UK pounds, which got rejected flat out. And then they went back in with a 75 million bid. Now, the thing is, remember that bid is in dollars, not in pounds. And that works out to 55 million pounds. So you hear it being 75 million, you think, oh, that's fantastic. But then when you do the conversion rate, you see it's only 55. Now, if you do the 100 million that say DC wants 100 million, and they've done $100 million into pounds, that's 73 million pounds. So you've got to remember, if anything's been done in dollars, do the conversion. You have to do the conversion to do it. And the thing is, this is the whole thing. You look at everything. Like 2023-2024 season, we earned 26 million when our first little spell back in the championship. And you look at like things that have been done. West Brom went for 60 million. Derby went for 55 million to rescue them. And you kind of look at everything. You go, everything needs to be in the way that DC wants it. So maybe the 100 million come out because that's what it is in dollars. Who knows? But he goes on to say that we are Sheffield Wednesday. We are a big enough club to create the best academy training facilities in the UK. We put all our mind to it. Let's get Hilbert fully open and give fans something decent to eat and drink. We'll serve it worthwhile. We'll also like to see if we can wrap free of the side to create more of a modern bowl effect. But we would leave the South Stand main, and they've done photographs there alone if we want to mix old and new. And for them, it's about adding the situation of adding new and old, and they'd love to do a 55-seater stadium some point, but these are things that you would have to get done first. You would have to figure out where everything could go. How would everything be done? And that whole thing, you look at it, they wouldn't do anything without consulting fans. They would add up to date facilities, and they want to create a new winning culture. Now, don't get me wrong, this is all good things you want to hear from somebody who wants to buy the club. And that's that whole thing. You go, right, it's really good. There is a kind of little bit of a plan there, which people have wanted. But the whole thing you've got as well is that it's so quiet at the minute from the club as a whole. There's been nothing from Chansiri. He had been dead silence. Normally in these situations, you get a letter from the chairman going, hey, or a statement going, hey, I'm sorry, these are things that I couldn't predict. I couldn't really do it. I'm trying to find the money and so on. But the silence that has been to players, staff, non-playing staff, agents who have been going to people like the Star or the BBC to go, do you know what's going on? Says everything to me. It says everything about how everything's being done. And that just doesn't sound that great. And the thing is, when you look at what's being said and you look at how things are coming as speculation or people who have got a bit of an inside track, you look at it and you actually look at it, and sometimes you see some of the things that they're saying, and you tend to sometimes think it believable. Because at the moment, if something's wacky enough, you could actually see that they want something like that. And the thing is, I got the situation where you look at where something gets said, and you do question yourself. Like, you question yourself. Is this something that is true? And in the world of Wednesday at the minute, you don't really know. Like, kind of, let's be brutally honest. One thing that gets said, you think could be it. Like the whole thing on Sunday about Danny. I don't believe that for a second. I don't think he turned around and said, you come back to the UK now. I just don't see it. I generally don't see it. I don't see how he can demand when he's not been able to get the payments right. That's just my personal opinion, by the way. That you might have a completely different one. But at the moment, with everything that's going on, Adam Shaw's doing a little bit of talk in the media, which I do find quite interesting, and my brain starts to do that kind of, is there something there? But until there is, we ain't going to know anything, really. Let's be brutally honest. We have to wait and see now and see what happened next. EFL charges are there. He got to respond to them. We've heard nothing from about that. So let's see what happened. But at the end of the day, at the moment, we're still in a state of limbo of not knowing what's really going on with our football club. And yeah, it's still very disconcerting that we're getting very close to people coming back to pre-season. And where are we going for pre-season? Who knows? Are we going to be playing under 15 kids or under 18 kids versus Hallam, Sheffield, and that'll be part of the deal, because that's who is all we've got on the books now because players have left. Who knows? At the minute, everything is such a chaotic mess. So let's see what happens. But yeah, hopefully we start getting a bit more insight. But Sheffield Wednesday at the minute is such a mess.